Hello everyone, welcome to this webinar and thank you for joining us. I'm Aruna, your host for this session, and I'm a product marketer with Zoho Recruit. In this webinar, we'll help you learn how you can set up your hiring pipeline and customize different stages of your job openings. Not just that, we'll also walk you through reports and analysis and every other thing to make your hiring better. Here at Zoho, we understand that no two organizations have the same hiring needs or the same recruitment process. To ensure multiple recruitment processes can converge into one solution, Zoho Recruit was crafted to be a completely reliable and customized solution that meets your hiring needs. And that's exactly why we built hiring pipeline into our product, one of the most used features by our customers. Before we get started, if you have any questions during the webinar, I'd like to ask you to drop an email to cares@zohorecruit.com and we'll get back to you at the earliest. So let's go ahead and get started. Here is a quick look at what's in store for you today. We'll walk you through the process of creating stages for your job openings and associating candidate statuses. We'll also show you how you can bring hiring pipeline into your dashboard. And in part 3, we'll look into the process of generating reports for all your job requisitions along with the associated candidates. All right. So what exactly is a hiring pipeline and how do you efficiently define it? A hiring or recruiting pipeline is the blueprint of multiple stages in your recruitment process. So it is where you basically define the functional flow of your hiring cycle, from initial screening to sending offer letters and every other stage that comes in between. With that, I introduce you to Teethana, a product consultant with Zoho Recruit, who is passionate about building solutions, onboarding, and retaining customers for the product. Hello, Teethana.
Hello, Aruna. Thank you for the introduction and briefing on today's webinar. In line with what you had mentioned, that today's topic is regarding the setup and customization of hiring pipeline, I would like to consider a scenario to make things interesting in our webinar. So let's consider a recruiter, Miss Sally, who is the hiring manager for Zilker Corp, an IT firm in Toronto. Her company hires applicants for roles like technical consultant, marketing analyst, etc. The task delegation and collaboration, of course, becomes difficult without a streamlined process in place. Few of the recruitment challenges that I would like to point out would be to track every stage of a job opening. Now, we as recruiters, we do understand that in every organization, the recruitment process is going to be complex and going to be unique with respect to the organization. So to be able to gauge where exactly the job opening is progressing and where the candidates are falling in place is going to be difficult, and which is why we need a proper tracking system in place. Second of all, I would like to monitor one critical factor, which is going to be monitoring. Only when we monitor will we know what's working and what's not, which is why the hiring efficiency should be measured with respect to monitoring, which should be made sure it is more efficient and done with ease. Third, the data-driven hiring. Any hiring process would be made successful only if we have the right statistics and the data. Hence, we'll have to have the right numbers to see if the hiring process is done right and if we are getting the best match for our role. This is where Zoho Recruit comes in place, a complete recruiting software that will help you streamline your hiring process. With Zoho Recruit, we'll be able to do almost everything possible. We'll be able to source our talent faster, track resumes quicker, customize our day-to-day needs and tasks. Having said that, we'll also be able to customize completely our hiring pipeline and to make sure it suits our organizational needs. And also the reports and analytics aspect, which will make sure we will be able to tune our hiring strategies. Having said that, we'll also be able to incorporate our hiring pipeline into our reports to understand how the hiring pipeline is progressing for our particular recruitment and our organization. So as I had mentioned, we have taken a character, Sally, who is a hiring manager, and she will definitely be having a hiring pipeline in place. Let's say Sally is currently actively looking for candidates for 3 roles. Let's say iOS developer, graphics designer, and marketing analyst. For these roles, she has defined a particular pipeline which is broadly classified into 5 stages. Now, being Sally and her, need to be able to close these jobs as soon as possible and get the best of candidates, she will want to replicate this hiring pipeline into Zoho Recruit. So now let's see how this hiring pipeline can be set up in Zoho Recruit in your account. In Zoho Recruit, we have a hiring pipeline right here. This has been categorized into various stages which pertaining to the job, and under each stage we have a particular status. With respect to the status, this refers to the candidates and the stages refer to the job. For example, we have a candidate who has applied from various other job boards and the status is currently new. So when the candidate status is new, they will therefore fall under the applied stage of the job opening. So that is how the candidate status in combination with the job stages forms the hiring pipeline. So let's see how we would like to add a new stage. So you will click on the plus icon right here to add in a new stage. We can name the stage however you would like to have it done. Anything that is probably missing here can be done. So we can probably name it as interview process. Choose an appropriate color so that you'll be able to identify it better and click on save. Now that a stage has been created, we will have to create the appropriate statuses which fall under this stage. Hence, we'll go for manage status. Under manage status, you will have various statuses which has already been created and you can also choose to create a new one. Hence, click on the plus icon wherein you'll be able to add a new status. And by clicking on the arrow right here, you'll also be able to map it to the appropriate stage. So let's go for interview process, which is the one that we created. Click on choose and save. So now you can see that the respective status falls under the stage that we had just created. Now let's say we have already created multiple statuses and they need to be mapped to the right stage. So we go for map statuses down here. Bulk select the statuses that needs to be present or comprised under a particular stage. We'll also be able to search it from here. Choose the appropriate stage and click on map. So that's exactly how we would be able to carry out the hiring pipeline and have it set up.
Great. I have a question here, Tirthana. Is there a way where I could see the time taken for a candidate in a particular stage?
Absolutely, Aruna. In fact, that's a really good question. Since the entire point of having a hiring pipeline is to be able to see how the candidates are traversing through the stages, it is highly important to also track the timestamp and also the duration as to how much time the candidate has spent in a particular stage. Hence, I'll just show you how this can be done. So I'm currently under the candidates module and I've clicked on the quick view, which basically gives you the basic details, the skills, the education details, etc., and gives you a glimpse so that you'll be able to perform any further actions. Similarly, we have a column under that called the hiring pipeline, which gives you the entire segregation of the stages that the candidate has gone through. So now, as you can see, we have got the screening, client review, and hired stage that the candidate has gone through. Initially, we have the duration right here, which gives you the duration that the candidate has spent in the particular stage. And not just that, we have also captured the timestamp as to when the transition from one status to another status has also happened, and also the user who has performed this action. So I hope this answers your question, Aruna. It makes things a lot more simpler.
That's really awesome, Tirthana. Here's another question though. As a recruiter, can I view the pipeline in my dashboard so I can see how we are progressing? Also, is there a way to know the candidates who will probably get through the interview process?
Sure, Aruna. Having the hiring pipeline and not able to pictorially represent it or be able to actively use it on a day-to-day basis just defeats the entire purpose of having the hiring pipeline. Hence, we have introduced a built-in feature called the pipeline view, which I'll be showing you right now. So this is the pipeline view that you will be having right in your home page. So this has been neatly categorized into the various stages that you have created in your hiring pipeline. and also subcategorized by the posting titles, and it will also have the client name or the department name depending upon the edition that you're in. So under each and every posting title, you will have the number of candidates falling under a particular stage. Not just that, you'll also be able to click on a particular icon and be redirected to the number of candidates and why exactly they fall into that stage. So since Sally is working on a number of roles, let's say iOS and marketing analyst that we spoke about earlier, let's go into iOS developer. And as we can see, it shows the number 3 under client review. So upon clicking this, it will redirect me to the page which shows me the number of candidates and who and all are present under this particular stage. Now, as you can see, all of these candidates have the status as interview scheduled, which falls under the stage client review, which is why it shows 3 candidates under client review who fall under that particular job stage. Now, answering to the second part of your question, now that we have it right in our dashboard, and any other recruiter would love to have it exported to probably send it to their reporting heads, to any other person who would probably need this reporting structure. So hence, we would be able to show a particular report feature which has been built in by our developers. So let's say Sally would like to have a pictorial representation of a hiring pipeline in such a manner. So this is nothing but it's a pie chart which has been categorized based on the hiring pipeline stages, and it gives you a percentage and also the count of the candidates which are present in each and every stage. So we can replicate the same in our Zoho Recruit system. So under our reports section, we have a built-in report called the candidate pipeline report. This report gives you the pictorial representation just as Sally wanted. And not just that, it also gives you a tabular view as to how many candidates fall under which stage. And it also gives you a total record count. So it will give you a row-wise record count, which will tell you the number of candidates under the posting title, and also a column-wise record count, which will give you the number of candidates under the respective stage. So probably under the client review stage, we have got 35 candidates, which are in total to the posting titles. So that is how the report will be defined. And like I had mentioned, any recruiter, just like Sally, would also love to have it exported and share it across to the other users. So we do have an option to export this particular report in one of the various formats, Excel, CSV, or PDF. And we can also have this particular report scheduled on a monthly, weekly, etc. basis, which is just one of the various functionalities that we can do with our reports. Now let's say this needs to be a bit more customized. Now Sally, very particular about having it a lot more organized, would also want to have her account manager to be present in a column right beside the posting title. So we'll be able to generate a similar kind of report, and this can be edited further. So this is a generated report by the user, which is pretty much a copy of the pipeline report that I've just shown you. Now here what you can do is you'll be able to edit this particular report, and you'll be able to filter with the respective account manager that you're looking for. Now you have a filtered report which is going to be only the list of jobs where the account manager in our example is Patricia. So this way you can create multiple reports based on the account manager and have it exported, or just have it for your day-to-day need and see how exactly it is working for you. And one important functionality is also that you'll be able to add these reports to your dashboard. Therefore, you'll have a pipeline view, and you can also have a customized pipeline view based on the account manager to make things a lot more simpler.
Thank you, Teetana. I believe Sally now knows how to set up and customize her hiring pipeline thanks to Zoho Recruit. Is there anything else you want to convey before we wrap up?
No, Aruna, thank you. I think we're good for now. Thank you, everyone.
So thanks everybody for tuning in. Follow Zoho Recruit for more such webinars on other topics about talent acquisition. So if you have any questions or queries, please do reach out to cares@zohorecruit.com. Thanks again for joining us today, and we'll see you next time. Thank you.